this video in particular is for all of the other alienated parents who are in those groups and who are following me and have just kind of stumbled upon this journey that I've been on for 3.5 years, and my children have been on as well for the last 3.5 years. All the details are here at aquariuskidnapping.com. And I have linked the Mona's Laws Buy Me a Coffee app to that too. It links up on the bottom. Anyway, I did put on the Buy Me Coffee Mona. I just need to shorten that. Let's just call it like BMAC. BMAC, Mona's Laws, Aquarius Kidnapping. Kind of an overview, a very simple overview that of course is going to need to be like broken down and put in legal terms and all of this. But what I wanted to say was I talk about my late father on that particular post, and I linked his obituary from Dignity Memorials. They do eternal obituaries. Dignity Memorial was great when he passed away. 15 years ago, he passed away. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I looked at that the other day, and I don't know where this button goes to, but there's one that says send flowers. Don't send flowers. He's been long dead. There's a tree almost as tall as my house that wasn't even planted yet when he died. I don't even know where those flowers would go to. What if they went to his old house and then the people who live there now realized that someone was sending condolence flowers from the person who passed away in that fourth that they live in? That would be creep city for those people. Anyways, so don't send flowers. But he is so important. He has been so important in this whole journey. And so many times I have been in this room crying, missing my babies, laying in that bed. Oh, and he's right there too. That's his urn. He's just kicking it. Oh, he's there. He hangs up. And praying to my dad and just saying, how could you leave me here and let this happen to me? These people, I'm not strong enough to do this. I'm not as strong as you. I'm not as smart as you. I'm not as tough as you. I don't know what to do. What am I going to do? Is one person telling the truth against like 8 people lying? Those lies are heard louder every single time. And I just was crying and just like, I'm not strong enough for this. And I remember not hearing through my ears. We're not talking about auditory hallucinations here. But I remember hearing in my brain, I guess, my soul, and feeling him saying, yes, you are. You are strong enough. I raised you strong enough. Stand up. And this video is because I want to give that message to all of the other alienated parents who don't know what to do. Whether you were set up like I was, or maybe you made a couple mistakes. It doesn't matter if you are not a danger to your children and your children are being used as weapons to hurt you specifically. And sometimes there's nothing you can do. I'm telling you, the whole thing was like trying to catch smoke with my fingertips. I've said that before. I did everything that was asked of me. I begged for more. Some of the evidence on the website, but I have a lot more. There was nothing I could have done. And there was just nobody, And it's been 3.5 years. And still to this day, in my heart, I know that nobody can expect me to be anything but a mother. And that's all I can be right now, even if it has to be from over here. And I started speaking out on the first YouTube channel, the Aquarius Kidnapping one, to speak out about like what was going on, how everything played out, how everything was set up, and by whom. And then I started the second one like a year after the first one, because I realized really what was in front of me after going after every avenue, And I wanted my children to still be able to hear my voice. I wanted them to still get to know their mom and not all the brainwashing lies that they've been told the last 3.5 years. They're in an echo chamber of hate against me for reasons that don't have anything to do with them. And when we have lawyers and what public servants, I guess, that's my court-appointed lawyer, Leilani, that heavily coerced me to sign those papers, heavily. Like she basically said I had no other option. And now I know that wasn't true. And now I know that whole CPS case should have never legally even been opened. When your children are in an echo chamber of hate against you for other reasons, and we have these trafficking lawyers that are willing to step in and basically barter them for you, buy and sell your children, steal, then buy and sell your children. It creates this dangerous situation that happened to me and my baby. And I keep saying, one of the reasons I keep saying it had to happen to me is because it's just so blatant. And the devil's in the details. And there are a lot of people who have been listening. I'm so grateful because nobody would listen to me when it was happening. And now I've been treated like I'm deceased by the family, by my own family. This is over money and property, by the way. Nothing to do with my mom. But I know that other people are going through this too. A couple of you have also reached out to me, and I'm trying to keep up with my messages. I have so much going on and other stuff on top of it. So it's just unnecessary. But I wanted to just make this video for you and let you know how I've gotten through it, because I'm not any stronger than anyone else. I might be a little bit more stubborn, but I understand 1000%, and I know that doesn't make any technical sense, but how this happening to someone can quickly become mental illness and depression to a point that's so deep that you don't know where to look. It's not natural to be disconnected from your children. That's not a natural thing for humans at all, and many other animals. And I know, because I've been fighting it, and it can feel like you're chasing ghosts, but you're not. I was trying not to get upset. I've been putting off making this so long. If this is going on with you, if you are suffering, this is what you need to know. You and your child or children have been pulled into you've been drafted. You've been drafted for a psychological war. Maybe you played a part in it, maybe you didn't, but it doesn't matter. Getting through those days and those moments is more important than you realize, because the people who drafted you and your children now have them, as unfortunate as it may be. If something happens to you, your babies will never know the truth, and that's not fair to them. They will think that you left here because you didn't love them. They will believe whatever lie is told, even more so. No, you have to be an example. That's your child. You have to be an example. You have to take care of yourself. It is so important. I could just see so easily people getting into addictions, or, like I said, getting depressed. I mean, even I have trauma responses. I was talking in one of my videos the other day about how I woke up in the middle of the night, just panicked for no reason. I was like, and that's not something that ever happened to me before I went through any of this. And I had to sit out, it's just nighttime, I had to sit up and remind myself, everything's okay. That's a trauma response. I had to sit up and make my prefrontal cortex tell my amygdala to calm the fuck down and go back to sleep. It's not easy. It's necessary, and it'll be worth it. Today is not the last day. As an adult, even just from the beginning of this video, I'm a 40-year-old woman. You know how much I've needed my father the last 3 years? Your children don't stop needing you. I still needed Jennifer. Today is not the last day. And another thing for people who are watching, I feel like the hair on my face, for anyone who's watching that knows someone who's going through this, saying the children will understand when they get older is not helpful. We're aware that our babies are not. That's not why we're sad. We're sad because every moment we're missing because of lying family members and perjurous criminal trafficking attorneys. That's why. My daughter goes to the same middle school that I went to. I was in chorus and she was in chorus. She has, you know how many concerts she's done on the same stage that I sung on? Because I don't, because I've never been invited to one of them. And that's not on her. I did not know my daughter when she went to middle school, and that's crazy. But that's in yesterday. We have to focus on tomorrow. We all have to focus on tomorrow. Survive right now to get to tomorrow. So I've taken notes, and I will try. It's not going to be short. I might just grab a snack and come on back. First, I do think it's important to speak. One of the best decisions I made was turning every comment off and just saying what needed to be said. Because if you think about it like this, the narrative will run wild. The narrative will run wild. And the less you speak about the truth and what happened or is happening, the more opportunity you're giving other people to speak for you and to believe that those people are going to tell the truth in any favorable light to you, to believe that they're probably not just going to fabricate a whole bunch of stuff anyways, because obviously they're on a mission. Your child is a pawn now. Is naive. I was naive. I was very naive, and I'll beat myself up forever about that. Very naive. So Yeah, I do think you should speak. I was, oh my goodness. They don't want you to speak. But as long as you tell the truth, like my babies will never have to ask, where were you? I'm right here. Yeah, and they're in my heart always. But so I mentioned that you have been drafted. We've been drafted for this psychological war. Okay. And I'm going somewhere with that. There were, you don't know what war it was. I don't know what war we were in. One of the wars years ago. A lot has happened in the last few years. Oh my goodness, in the last 20 years. It was over in the Middle East somewhere. And we pulled out of the war. But then there was like this big fuss afterward because they left a whole bunch of like helicopters and Hummers and like dogs and stuff over there when they brought the people back. And then whoever was there, the terrorists that were there, took them and I guess started using them against their people. Like I said, this was years ago. Because when we were in military housing, there was a big thing about it. So what I learned is that actually the United States has that a lot, and we always have. But it's a good metaphor because you've been drafted for war. They've been drafted for war. And what happened to a lot of those machines were broken down for parts. The ones that weren't used against their citizens were broken down for parts. The dogs were slaughtered. You cannot leave your child here with the enemy to break them down or hurt them because they already don't care. If they have enough hate in their heart to steal a child's parent from them. Okay, we're talking about stealing from the child. I'm not talking about stealing from us, the parents. I'm talking about stealing from the child. That is a very cold, a very spiteful person. Those aren't the kind of people that you want to be leaving your children with prematurely, which is why I'm telling you how important it is to take such good care of yourself during these traumatic times. And that is a way to get through it. It's just so important. Keep your body healthy, mind healthy. It's so important. What else? I have my glasses if I need them. And another thing is people who can do this to a child are groomers. And they will intentionally, very passively and covertly coerce your children to think their narrative of you. My baby's been going through it for 3.5 years. It's no wonder my son will answer my text messages. It's no wonder, okay? Which is why I do think it's so important to speak and never, ever blame your children because they are even more victims than we are. And that's the truth because children who go through this kind of parental separation in their youth, mom or dad tend to grow up to be anxious, neurotic, addicted, and mentally ill adult. And we all know how tragically that can end. These aren't wounds that end in childhood. These are wounds children carry with them for the rest of their lives. I'm going to link, there's another channel called the Alienated Parent Project, I think. And she's awesome. She is an adult child that was alienated from one of her. Very insightful. Go follow her. I'm going to put her link here too. I can't think of her name right now. I should have got more wider before I started doing this. But they will challenge your character. They will challenge your parenting, usually through projection, is what I've experienced at least. Insidiously through friends, family, but most of all your babies. And if you don't speak, everyone else is speaking for you. And there just aren't enough people to trust to allow that to happen very often. People will bond in front of your children over a delusional hate for you. It has nothing to do with the children. And teenage minds aren't picking that part up. They're not picking that part of the grooming up because that's what good grooming is. Good groomers, victims don't know they're being groomed. That's what makes them good groomers. And it's delusional. It's delusional and cowardice, but it is effective. And my children are no dummies either. I have very smart children. But even adults, when you're told the same thing over and over again, and everyone around you has the same opinion of one person, and even an adult would be swayed by that. It's cowardice, but effective. Regardless of how the adults around them are doing it, your babies are going to internalize this as either you not being good enough for them or them not being good enough for you. And if you're not good enough for them, then just better yourself. Stand up, be stronger. You made them. Yes, you can. It feels so impossible sometimes. You got to get through those moments. You have to do it for your child because they're not going to be your child forever. And I know this sounds hypocritical because I just said, don't say that to us because it sounds demeaning. It sounds like if someone says they'll understand when they get older, it sounds very demeaning to the trauma that's happening right now. But for me, going through it, knowing how much I need my parents, especially with my illnesses and everything, everyone needs a family. Everyone needs a family. To be ostracized from one the way I have been is not even close to normal. Not even close. Even if anything they said was true, it wouldn't be close to normal like this. This is crazy. And, I wanted to celebrate Mona's birthday with everyone, and I didn't want to cry on there, and I don't like crying on these because I want to be a strong example, but I also don't want anyone who was going through this to be watching thinking that it should be so easy, because it isn't. It isn't easy. Having your children ripped from you. I was full-time mama. I work from home. Having your children ripped from you for me and using my dead father to do it is crazy. They're still watching. They're still going to know how you got through it. Come hell or high water, if you had those kids that's on you to be a good example. If something happens to you, your chance of reconciliation goes to 0. Their chance of mental illness in the future and then goes to about 100. You can't let that happen. Just because some fraudulent attorney and trafficking CPS wants to say you can't be a parent, that doesn't mean that God says you don't have to be a parent anymore. You stand strong for your children. You do what you have to do to get to tomorrow if you have to. My dog's got me through so much. And sometimes I use humor to cope with all of this because it's like, it's the only way. It's the only way that it doesn't kill me. It'll never make any sense to me how any parent or grandparent can hate someone else more than they can love that child. To steal a mother or father. My father raised me strong so I could do this. This had to happen to me the way it did because it's so blatant. And it's not easy. People are going to judge you. People are going to say mean things to you because there are going to be people believing all of the lies. Trust me. But don't forget that those people are judging you from the safety and comfort of their own situation. And a lot of times when people hear about someone else falling, especially their bad parents, inside their homes, they're going to project that hate onto you because it's easier than sitting with their own guilt about how horrible they are as a parent. And that's just the truth. Because I'm a very good mama. Huh, baby? Oh, everything's all right. Yeah, I cook Kobe's stuff. Don't listen to them. Don't let them silence you. Even strangers. Your children, our children at this juncture, if you've been separated, are already set up for failure. The last thing that you should do, the last thing you need to be doing, is putting yourself in harm's way or harming yourself. Do whatever you can to rise above and prove everything that everyone has told them wrong. There's just been so much insidious stuff going on with my children and really the grandparents. So if something happens to you, it's going to add to their trauma. And also be prepared for neutrality and other adults that you don't feel like should be being neutral, and try not to be too hard on them because they're not in the situation either. They only know what they're being told, which is another reason why it's so important for you to speak. And another thing is they don't realize that their neutrality is being weaponized the way that it is, towards the children and towards you. Well, mostly towards the children and their grooming and brainwashing. Think about it. If everybody around your child is saying this person, this, and then the court of law with these criminal attorneys traffic in the way they traffic with me and all the fraud and coercion, and then other adults aren't saying anything either. It's a weaponized neutrality. But the people who are being neutral aren't trying to be weapons. They just don't know what to do. It's not a normal situation. It isn't. The fact that outwardly it seems as though my children have been convinced that it is, although I don't really believe that in my heart. I don't think that. I just think they can't say anything because I don't think they want to anyone else. And I hope that they know that they have never disappointed me. And you should make sure that your kids know that too. Sometimes it hurts to send text if I know I'm not going to get one back. And I still try to fight through it. But those are little things that I have to rise up on my own. Make yourself stronger for tomorrow to be there for them, because your children are always going to carry guilt over things that they should have never been brought into and never have no reason to feel guilty for. And it's up to you to make sure that that doesn't take them down later on in life. On my heart. I hope this has helped. Oh, I stayed under 45 minutes. I'm not done yet. But yes, there's still a lot of writing, a lot of a lot of work for Mona's Laws, a lot of work for this advocacy project, but there are certain things that certainly need to be put in place so that our babies can't be trafficked. And wherever you are, I'm in Virginia Beach, wherever you are, it's up to you to stand up for yourself and your children and your community. When something like this happens, we have to stick together. I really do mean it when I hashtag together we thrive. That's just biological. Human beings thrive in numbers for a reason, and we always have since we've existed. That's stuff we're going to talk about in Contextually Human in the future. But yeah, if anyone can donate to the Buy Me a Coffee app, the Mona's Laws, all of that is going back into advocacy work and moving all of this forward. And every little bit really, really does count. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for everyone who has just been so kind, and you guys are amazing. I didn't have a voice. You gave me a voice. I started talking. You gave me a voice. And now it's like breaking. So yeah, go visit the Mona's Laws Buy Me a Coffee app, join the movement. Eventually, I'm going to be moving over to, what's the petition website? I'm drawing a blank. But once all of the supporters, of course, of Mona's Laws will be informed when all of the petition stuff goes up. But there's a lot of work to do. So I'm just so grateful for everyone. And I want everyone to stay strong. And it's okay to be angry. And it's okay to be upset. And it's okay to be sad. Okay? Use it. Use those emotions. Use those emotions to stand up, better yourself, better your situation in any way you can, and prove everyone wrong. Use it as fuel. My dad's voice in my head was right. I am strong enough. You're strong enough. They were all I had. We could do this. Other thing is, I have started a support group. It was a couple months back for alienated parents under the Band app. And I'm going to go ahead and leave a link below to that in the description on the Courthouse Kidnapping YouTube channel. I won't be putting that on the Facebook, but go follow the YouTube channel and it'll be there. And we are going to breathe. We're going to stay grateful. We're going to stay grateful for all of our blessings, as few and far between as they may be, for bringing us even moments of peace. And we'll hold on to those moments to get through the hard times. And then we'll be grateful for all of our challenges, for bringing us strength, as both are vital when it comes to living, surviving, thriving here. It's human. Thank you guys